So our new strategy is permutations of identical objects. Maybe we'll call it the Mississippi strategy. Maybe not, if we can't spell it. So there are 11 letters, and if they were all different, the number of permutations would be 11 decisions, 11 spaces, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, all the way down to 1, which would be 11 factorial. But because we have identical objects, there's 4 identical s's, right? You divide by 4 factorial because s's are the worst letter to choose. How could we draw? So there's a big S, a little s.
A squiggly S, really sideways squiggly S. Yeah.
And the $S. There we go, sure. If there was 4 s's and they were all different, then there would be 4 factorial ways of arranging them. So in the 11 factorial, all of your arrangements, there always appears those 4 s's that appear to be in different places, but they're actually the same. So we have to divide out those identical objects. And we do that by dividing out by 4 factorial. We also have to divide by 4 factorial for our i's. And 2 factorial for our p's. So whatever identical objects you have, you need to divide by them to make it count, take out that repetition that those identical objects have. So identical objects questions come in questions like names where the letters are repeated. But there are other places that we have identical objects. So now when you're reading a word problem, you have to decipher, is this just a decisions question, or is this a decisions question that has some identical objects? So you work at Superstore, and they have a shelf that they want to display 3 cans of tomato soup, and other 5 are all different. And you spend all day figuring out what is the nicest way to arrange them on that shelf to sell them as best as possible. So how do we recognize that this is an identical objects question? Well, we have 3 cans of tomato soup that are all the same. In fact, we could write this as a word. 3 cans of tomato soup could be TTT for tomato soup, tomato soup, tomato soup. The other 5 are different. So what other soups do we have? What's the O stand for? Octopus soup, okay, good. Apple soup, love my apple soup. Pineapple soup, 2 more. Chocolate soup and broccoli soup. Right. Yes. And so this becomes like a Mississippi question, because you would have 8 factorial, but you have repetition, so we divide by 3 factorial. Can we spell any words in here? What kind? Pot. Takabada. I don't know. That's not really a word. Let's try the one off to the side. See another question that has identical objects. 7 boxes of cereal on a shelf. 5 are bran, 1 is puffed wheat, and the other box is granola. It's an identical objects question because you have 5 of the same thing. How could you represent this? Bran, 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 bran. PG. And so normally it would be 7 factorial, but because we have identical objects, we have to divide by 5 factorial. This is mental math. Can you do that quick? 42. Good. So The questions for this one are 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'll let you practice those for a bit.